All right, more good news on today's Conor Howard case. So the Greek courts have ruled in favour of dismissing Qatar's extradition request, which obviously indicates the need for Greece and European countries to initiate a procedure that protects people against this kind of abuse. So we're so happy. Conor's obviously really relieved at the situation. I've been speaking to him the past few days. He's been very anxious about what might happen. Of course, in a worst case scenario, he'd be facing potentially years in a desert prison. Qatar isn't doing itself any favours though, is it? When you have the allegations coming from Australia of sexual abuse by airport authorities, and then you have Conor Howard, who was arrested over a herb grinder, which isn't a crime in Australia, it isn't a crime in Greece, and frankly it's not even a crime in Qatar. So to utilise the Interpol Red Notice database over this herb grinder that they released him for back in 2019, and then cause his family so much stress. He's been detained in Greece for almost 3 months now. He's spent time in prison, and his father suffered a heart attack as a result of all of the stress and pressure that they were under. And I dealt with Robert before this, before his health problems, and yeah, he was incredibly stressed. And I don't think that people really consider, and countries certainly don't consider, the hardships that people are put under when frivolous red notices are opened by countries that we shouldn't be even allowing on this crime sharing database, frankly. So the human impact is that Conor went on a holiday with his family and ended up being detained, facing extradition to a desert state. Now, if someone is employed, they lose their job. They have to pay extortionate legal fees for last minute extradition representation. And when you're facing extradition to the Middle East, you don't want a junior lawyer, you want the best lawyer to represent you in extradition proceedings, and that's going to cost you. Most people don't have access to £20,000 or more just at the click of a finger when they were just going on a holiday. So these are serious violations of people's rights. And Conor's not the first one. We've had Robert Irwin, we've had several other cases of people who have been detained in European countries. And the scary thing about this is that Interpol's database is allowing countries from the Middle East to extend their powers of arrest beyond their borders and into our jurisdictions. And even when that is for a short time, 2 weeks in detention, whether it's for a few months in detention, or in some cases, people have spent over a year undergoing extradition proceedings that are never going to result in an extradition to that country anyway, but still have to go through the motions. And this is a serious violation of human rights, and it's highly disturbing that European countries, now aware of it, have not done anything to protect people. In fact, this is not the first extradition request that Greece has been a part of. There have been others from the UAE. And so it's really disturbing that, in fact, it took them the whole 3 months to allow Conor to travel back to Scotland. We've had people arrested in Spain, in Ukraine, in Czech. Certain countries will question people who are listed on the Interpol Red Notice database, but they won't subject them to these lengthy proceedings. So Greece, what were you doing taking 3 months? And who's going to compensate Conor Howard for this serious blunder on Qatar and Greece and the whole Interpol database? Who's going to compensate him? So we'll find out when he returns to Scotland. But at least, thankfully, Conor is free to return home. It's a great relief. I'm so happy about this. And hopefully we'll have some good news on some other cases that are also in court. We've got another one today and another one in the next week. So great news. And Conor, it was just a pleasure to have helped you and to have worked with you. And I'm so glad that you're going to be returning to Scotland. Thanks everyone for your support as well, and Scotland for really coming together like a big family to support Conor. It's been wonderful, and we're so glad for his freedom. So have a good day, everyone.